Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thought we'd get back on the Birmingham Cross-City, but we'll do one of the Class 37 services, I think, today, because you get to do a full run of the line, and I think there's only a couple of stops involved in these. So it's Lichfield to Bromsgrove, and the other service is coming back the other way, Bromsgrove up to Lichfield, as part of the Derby to Penzance services. So that'd be a big service, wouldn't it? LaserJet, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Dave, how are you? So what I've done is, you can see that bit of a strange time, isn't it, to do a rail tour? 4:49 a.m. and 10:35 at night. So I have picked the one that is going from Lichfield City down to Bromsgrove for this one, and I've changed the weather to June so that it's not dark. So that's what we're going to do. So let's jump in. Hope you guys are enjoying the route. If you've got it, I know you've got it, Dave. I don't know about you, LaserJet, if you've got it yet. Right, let's get the doors unlocked. You did this one and you didn't change the weather. It must have been pretty dark. If you have it set to November, 10 to 5 in the morning, I imagine it's pretty dark. Let's get everything set up. I think we've got a few minutes wait. Yeah, we could only leave at 4:56, so we'll get set up. We can have a bit of a wander around, can't we? Whilst we're waiting. Let's do all this. Of course we need the windows open. This is a 37. Let's have a look up here. Route indicators, tail lights we don't need, instrument lights, don't need the cab lights. Safety systems, of course, on this route. And Dave, just whilst I remember, you were asking me about those AWS penalties, the emergency stops. I was talking about this with the other ambassadors on the forum we've got, and that is the TPWS. So if you're coming up to a yellow or a red, and you are going faster than 10 miles an hour, it seems, then you can get that emergency brake. So that kind of explains it. Now, I don't know if it's meant to be like that or not. I'm just waiting for Dovetail to confirm it. Seems a bit aggressive, that, to be down to 10 as you're approaching the signal. You remember it used to do it on Great Western Express as you approach Reading. There was just one place, wasn't there, in Reading Station, and it used to trip you up. It's a similar thing to that, and I think it's only happening in two places as well on the route, unless I've missed it. It did it to me on the. Yeah, you can turn it off. You can turn it off. Yeah, you can. You can. In the 323, you can. It did it to me in the HST as well. If you watch the HST video I did yesterday, it did it there as well, which was a bit of a pain. Right, we've still got 5 minutes. Shall we have a wander? I mean, is anybody going to get on this service at 10 to 5? I don't know. Go over the egg boxes. So these are the 37s from Tees Valley, so you will need the Tees Valley. And I'm assuming that these coaches come from Northern Transpennine. That's my assumption. But let's have a look. Oh, there are people on board, look. That's good. I didn't think we'd get anybody. It's quite early, isn't it? This is Lichfield Station. One thing I have noticed at Lichfield, just generally, the headroom. Look at the headroom. That's pretty low, isn't it? So, I don't know what's going on there. But that's pretty low. Let's have a look down. Yeah, got a few people in. So when you did this, it was dark and rainy, then very foggy. Right, yeah. I thought for the purposes of the stream, we'll make it nice and light, and it should be a good run, this one. Like I said, I think it only stops at Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham, platform 12, then Bromsgrove. So that's the plan. Let's have a look. I get the sneaky suspicion that this train is not in the platform. Let's have a look. It's quite long, isn't it? Hence the double header, I assume. Yeah, the back of the train is dangerously outside. Can we close individual ones? I think we can, can't we? We should do that because it's not safe. Let's slam them. We'll check the tail lights whilst we're here. There is... nope, don't want to do that. There's a tail lamp, so we're good. Let's get back. Good to go. Let's have a quick look through here. Morning, madam. How are you? You lot are up early. Yeah, Buffy Coy doesn't open until 6, so you're out of luck. There's no trolley service, so you're stuffed, basically. So you better have brought your flask. Right, let's get back. I'm quite looking forward to this because I do like a 37. The 37 was the one locomotive right at the beginning of Train Sim World that I thought, ooh, I hope one day we get a 37. I really hope we get a 37. And here we are. And when we got it for Tees Valley Line, I absolutely played it to death. Love it. Dave says it's a shame with double headers not going fast. I think top line speed was at 40 all the way to getting the Bromsgrove. Ah, is it? Right, okay, so it's like the freight. Yeah, the HST was the same in that video yesterday. It's kind of like a freight, it's kind of like freight speed, isn't it? I haven't done any freight yet. I've not run the 66 at all yet on this. I do keep meaning to do the railhead treatment train. I know you said you keep seeing them as AI, Dave, and they keep going past with no water spraying out, which is also a bit strange. I'm assuming they're going over 20 miles an hour, are they? Because I think it only comes on, does it, at 20? Between 20 and 40. Right, we've just got... you know what, I'm going to start taking the brakes off. I'm going to shut the doors. The brakes are going to take a while to come off, so let's do that. Yes, we're waiting for the BC dial there to come down. 14 miles to Birmingham. Yeah, I can ask the question about that, Dave, about why it's freight speed. I can ask that question. Right, the brakes are coming off. Let's put power in. We don't want to roll backwards. I'm still not a fan of that horn though. It sounds very Casio keyboard. Honestly, it does. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced with that. Yeah, BC brake cylinders, yeah. Right, looking forward to this though. I did see on Steam there is a guide. There's been a guide submitted now as well for all the collectibles. So I'm going to have a look at that at some point as well, because you know me, I do pick up some collectibles as I'm just travelling around, but I'm not ashamed to admit I do like picking up the guide and just following the guide and walking round. Mainly, as I said, like on the last live stream, it's mainly because I like to see the route from a different angle. So using the guide forces me to go to certain places on the route that I normally wouldn't go to. So there's a bit of benefit there for me personally. I know some of you like to find all the collectibles, you know, by accident, and some of you don't like to find them at all, which is fair enough. But there are, for me, on PS5, there are 3 trophies. I've got 2 of them. The other one, of course, is to get all the collectibles, so I am going to do that. Michael, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming in. So we're not really going to get any thrash on this, are we, if we can't get up to speed? There's a little bit there. So, yeah, keep at it, Michael. Keep at it, mate. Dave, you gave up on the Thunderstruck scenario. You slipped all the way down the hill. Straight after the stream, I'll try that. Well, we'll see what time we're on once we've done this run. I don't know how long that scenario is, but maybe we can try the beginning of it and see if we can, you know, see if we can at least get past the first bit. There is the hill start button, isn't there? If you use the left triggers, if you're on controller, there's a hill start function, which I'm not. I think I said it in the overview video, I'm not really familiar until we get some kind of written manual how you use the hill start. I don't know. Unless that's some sort of brake that holds you whilst you put the power in. We'll see how we are for time. If not, I'll try it off stream and I will let you know how that scenario goes. So we just left Lichfield City, bound for Birmingham, and I'm speeding. Yeah, I did see the line speed signs. Yeah, they're not matching, are they? What's this one? 60. Don't think we're going to get a 60 here, are we? Let's see when the back of the train clears it. Yeah, Michael, just keep going. Yeah, see how you get on. Is that what the hill start button is? Well, I'm assuming it might be something to do with it. Check it out. Yeah, if you use the left trigger, and I found that by accident because you know, it's like when you start driving a new train in TSW and you forget that it's got, you know, the 323 I'm talking about, you forget it's got a combined brake throttle handle. You sometimes go to the left triggers, don't you, for the brakes initially, and if you watch closely in that overview video when I'm at the training centre doing the tutorial, you'll see it flick up because that's me pressing the left triggers, and it does come up hill start, and I wondered what that was. It's possibly that. But as I say, in the absence of... is that the M6? That could be the M6, couldn't it? In the absence of a written manual, it's difficult to know. If you don't see it on the DTG stream, then it's difficult to always know all the functions. Yeah, we'll give it a try, Dave. We'll see how it is. I'm assuming if you're slipping down the hill, that's a scenario, is it, that starts at Bromsgrove and goes up the incline? Thanks everyone for coming in though on a Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, if you're in the UK, a bit different from Michael, I think, over in Canada. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up so far as well. From what I can gather in the feedback so far for the videos is that those of you, those of you that have picked up the route are enjoying it so far. There is some discussion around the pricing going up. I know, Michael, you pointed that out to me as well on one of your comments. I did talk to DTG about that, and I did give the feedback to say that there was a number of people, unfortunately, haven't picked it up yet because of the price increases. So the price increases that the pricing that they follow at DTG is Steam's pricing. So whatever the pricing is on Steam and the rises that come via Steam, it seems that that's how they do it, and we all get that. So if we're on console, we'll get that rise as well. So they're trying to keep the price the same across all the platforms. And just recently, they did send me an article actually which explained it. Steam have recently put up the prices, and so therefore the price of this route went up according to the Steam pricing guide. And I did ask, mainly with your question in mind, Michael, I did ask, is the rise disproportionate depending what country you're in? So I think in the UK it's gone up around £5. So you would expect that in Canadian dollars it would go up the equivalent of £5. But I think you were saying, yeah, $51.99, and I think you said 30. Did you say 30 something dollars previously? And they were saying that it just depends on your region and what the Steam local pricing is for that region, as I understood it from the article. So that's where that's come from. They've not just hiked the price up just because it's because of the Steam guidance. But I did feedback that initially some people were disappointed because they did want to pick it up, and they thought the price rise was a bit too much for now. Because all feedback's good, isn't it? Whatever the feedback is, it's worth passing that feedback on, isn't it? It's like market research, isn't it? It's not always going to be all good, is it? Mr. Water, how are you? Mr. Water, I don't know if you saw my update this morning. You'll be pleased to know I do now have police patrol officers. After what I was saying the other night, Astragon did come through, and I'm grateful to them. They did send me a key for the PS5 version. So I was out last night. I got the key last night, but I was out. Went to the theatre last night, actually. It was quite good. And they sent me the key. I quickly just set it up, got my profile set up, picked my officer. I did a quick 15-minute parking ticket shift. That's all I did. I couldn't work out what the hell the buttons were doing. I need to study what the buttons are to begin with. But I will be streaming that at some point this week, in and around the World Cup. So yeah, I'm pleased about that. So I'll say a big thanks to them for sending me that. Right, how are we doing? 9.7 to Birmingham. Let's have a look outside. This part of the route I really like. You look at the detail there, you see the housing off to in the distance, these fields. A very good mix of, I think I said it even in the last live stream, a very nice mix of countryside areas and built up city areas. Once we approach Birmingham, we start seeing the buildings looming up. It's a pretty nice effect. which is what you do see when you go to Birmingham. I do want to thrash this though, and I can't. Unless I ignore all the rules of the railway. Hey SNCF, how are you doing? Yeah, I've not seen you on for a bit. Hope everything's all right. There's a 60, but that's not for us. So normally we would expect to see the 60 for passenger, but we would also see underneath it, we would see the freight speed, wouldn't we? Seems like we're crawling along. Let's look at the map whilst we're here. So we started up here at Lichfield City. This is Birmingham, this is our next stop. Then we're going to finish up at Bromsgrove, which is this branch here. This is Redditch at this side, this is Bromsgrove. Yeah, split line speed boards, I thought so. So, yeah, there's something missing there, isn't there? I'm grateful though for these layers. I am. The 323 is really nice, but then when you can see the route from a different perspective and drive something else, and it's a timetable service, you know, you don't. I mean, don't get me wrong, the scenario planner is great, and I do use it a lot. But it's nice to have real timetable services. I don't think I said it, but when we were back at Lichfield, and I was nearly banging my head on the platform information system, the next train that it was actually showing there was, I think it was 6:11 in the morning. So that's the first passenger service. So this RAILTOUR wasn't actually showing. You would expect it to show on the PIS, wouldn't you? You know, or at least for it to say, you know, special or something. That's actually true, SNCF. Yeah, I have not run the 150 yet on this. I might actually run the Tintin 57 livery one on this. Might set something up. But yeah, this route is crying out for the 150, definitely. But I mean, from my perspective, this route actually is ranking quite high for me at the moment. I've been really enjoying it. Where is this? Oh, here's the cat, look, here's the cat, 4 Oaks, there's the cat. Did you just see that? Blinking, you'll miss it, but there is a cat there. This route needs a good thrashing. It gets boring very quickly. Are you bored of it, are you already? How many hours have you played it, Dave? Just out of interest. I mean, for me, I mean, very similar to this was Cathcart, wasn't it? But Cathcart Circle was very start and stop. I think this is just about right, this one. There are a few stations. There's 25 stations. I can't remember if it's 25 or 27. One of those two. But Cathcart Circle, no sooner had you set off, you were slowing down again, weren't you? And I was trying to... I ended up trying to pick out the longer services on Cathcart. Although I enjoyed the route, I really liked it. And I like the 314 as well, actually. I do like those type of units. But I was getting to the point where I needed to be in the mood for the ones that stopped everywhere, because they were quite slow. This one's alright though. You've done a fair bit of the journey, 3 scenarios, a few freight services, right, I got you. Do you know, because the journey menu is kind of, in this UI, it's kind of hidden away now, isn't it? I used to use the journeys as a template. I used to work through the journey chapters to guide me on what to do next. Since it's been not in my face in the UI, I've not really used the journey mode in TSW3, but you mentioned it the other night and I did go and have a look, and I did start to do that for this route. I went back and had a look. There is also the mastery on this route as well, isn't there? Which I saw on Train Simulator Driver's video. He made a video on that. I don't know if you know Train Simulator Driver. He's another DTG ambassador based in Australia. He made a video. You get some barges. You get some barges on the canal, which was quite nice. Can't remember the requirements. I think 3 scenarios you need to do, a number of timetable services, and there's a chunk of mileage as well you need to do. I think it's fairly straightforward to get it, but you just need to put some time in, I think. But the mastery stuff, I don't usually chase the mastery stuff. That just unlocks when it unlocks for me. Because you know, tier 1 is always something to do with the livery designer, and I'm not a great user of the livery designer. Usually it's you get decals, don't you? Scenario planner, yeah. Livery designer, no, I don't really dip in there. AV, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, Michael, yeah, usually decals on tier 1. But I've said it before, you know, even though I don't use the livery designer, I've picked up some very nice things from people on Creators Club. You know, even the Tintin 57 livery that Jason PFC did for me. You know, there's some quite talented people out there who put lots and lots of hours into that, and it's great for us who can go into Creators Club and pick some of these up. There's some really snazzy liveries on there. My problem is I'm just not I'm not that artistic, so if it takes somebody who knows what they're doing 5 hours, it'll probably take me about 30, so I'd much prefer to be driving the things. But it's good though, it's a good feature, definitely. Yeah, SNCF, you're right. Some of the scenery is quite good. I even I like the UFO on Cathcart, definitely. I know it's a little bit out of place, but I think the craziest one so far, thinking back, the ones that just come to mind right now, is the sea monster, the Kraken on West Cornwall. I mean, that one's ridiculous. I think I've switched that one off now. when you're at St Ives, you can see it there swimming away in the bay. It just looks too odd to me, that one. And one of the best ones actually is Northern Transpennine. I love those hot air balloons on Northern Transpennine. I think they're really good. And there's one of the German routes, isn't there, that's got hot air balloons? Is it Kolb? Is it the Kolb one? I can't remember just now. But there are some good ones. There's some very unusual ones. Somebody's having a laugh there, I think. Dave, you make scenarios but don't think you make any for this route. You can only use 2 platforms in. Oh, is that right? It's only 2 platforms, is it? I didn't realise that. It's got some potential though, hasn't it, Birmingham Station there? Even if it's not with this route, they could lift that out, couldn't they, and put that in the West Coast Main Line. Because you know what, that's what I want. I want the West Coast Main Line. V, you did a Lichfield run this morning and fell asleep. I hope you had the safety systems on. Mind you, the safety systems are not very good, are they, on Lichfield? There's nothing really to wake you up. Still got 4.3 miles to go here. It's Colne and Castle for hot air, but right, yeah, it is, yeah. I knew there was somewhere in Germany that had balloons. To be honest, as well, yeah, you mentioned the West Coast Main Line and the East Coast Main Line. I would prefer the West Coast Main Line, but anything fast like that. I mean, even if they're able to recreate the Train Sim Classic route that they did from which went from Euston to, was it Euston to Birmingham? I'd be happy to play that, to be fair. I mean, Euston's obviously a station I know quite well, travelling down there for work. In fact, I'm going back there again early December. I'll be down in London, so I'll be travelling down Preston to Euston. So I'm not familiar with the route up to Birmingham from there, because obviously I go the West Coast Main Line. I go a different way where I go. I don't go through Birmingham, but I would be happy with that. Wonder why I would prefer West Coast Main Line, yeah. Over Shap, yeah, Over Shap is my ultimate one, yeah. Preston to Carlisle or push, even Glasgow, that might be a bit too far in train sim worlds, but yeah, Preston to Carlisle at least would be good. Some might argue there's not many stations between Preston and Carlisle, because what we've got Lancaster, Oxenholme, Penrith, Carlisle. It's not bad, is it, though? You could still, you know I like a long run. I like a good long run. And you have a chance to get up to a fair old speed, haven't you, on that run? It's possible, isn't it? The first thing I thought about when they mentioned that Alan Thompson was getting involved was, when I've watched Alan Thompson, I've watched quite a bit of his stuff. I know he doesn't play TSW a lot, but he plays Train Sim Classic. And I've never had Train Sim Classic, but I used to like watching some of the streams and seeing some of the routes. And one of the ones he used to play a lot was the West Coast Main Line. And they created if I remember rightly, they created a missing link, didn't they? So they were piecing together the whole of the West Coast Main Line, and there was a little bit missing in the middle, which stopped you being able to run the whole length of it. And I think one of his guys created that, and they called it the missing link. and they're able to run the whole thing. So he's run that a lot. He's run the East Coast main line a lot when I used to watch him quite a bit. So maybe, when I thought about him, I thought maybe he's going to be keen on doing something on the main lines, but I guess it depends whether or not these developers are allowed to come up with their own ideas, or whether DTG ask them to create a certain thing. You know, I don't know if DTG pick the routes and give them out to the developers to work on, or whether the developers come in with their own ideas. I'm not sure on that. It's a question I'd like to find out, actually. Is this Spaghetti Junction? I think so. So I'm starting to get familiar with the routes. We come on to Spaghetti Junction, and then the next station we come up to is Aston, which is where that church is. I think the platform's around there somewhere, unless we've got another church just here. But yeah, we've got Aston, and then we've got Birmingham. There's nothing on the F7 for Lichfield, and the other one is quiet. Yeah, I didn't think there was much as regards safety systems. There's usually an alerter, isn't there, on the American stuff, and not much more. Overshot with the BR Blue 87s, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? You'd almost want two time periods, wouldn't you, for the well, I would, for the West Coast Main Line. I'd want the BR Blue period, and I'd want the modern period as well, with all the Avanti stuff. Yeah, I do Michael as well, yeah, because I think as well as them being skillful in what they do with the tools to bring the routes, it'd be nice for them to come with a route that they're quite passionate about and say, oh, you know, DTG, this one will really work because we've already created this for Train Sim Classic and it's been a bestseller and people have loved it. It'll be great if we bring this to TSW. So it would be nice if they did that. Or else you could just get any team of developers to come in, couldn't you? You know, and all they would need to do is know how to use the tool. They need developer skills and how to use the tool. But I know that Alan Thompson and his mates are actually massive train fans. So that's why I'm kind of hoping that they will be able to come in with their own idea, and DTG will let them make something that has come from them. So I thought it was that church, which was Aston. I knew there was a church, but that's it there, just in the background. It's got a tower rather than a spire, so it was that one. This little dome affair here is where they store all the grit for the motorways in winter. A giant storage bin. Mods for console, yeah. Yeah, it's mods on PC. They can add what they want on PC, can't they? Cross country or LNE oil liveries. Yeah, there's so much nice stuff, isn't there? I mean, you know me. I'm not a massive train expert at all. I know a little bit about the trains that run sort of near me and what I picked up when I used to work for regional railways those years ago, but not like some of you guys who, you know, live and breathe trains. I started off playing this for the game, and over time I've just got more into what's going on with the trains and what the routes are, etc., etc., just by following the subject. So my wish list is probably not as big as some of yours, but there is a lot of nice stuff out there. You can see that from the you know, people recreating the liveries in Creators Club. If you saw my video the other week where I ran that 47 in that livery on Northern Trans-Pennine with that livery that was from around God, what's the name of the company now? Norfolk, Suffolk area. I can't remember the name now of the train company. That one, I just liked it because I thought it was a good livery. You know, I have no particular knowledge of that train company, but I've picked a few of those out and put them into my library, as it were. What station is this? I can't catch it. Dudderston. There's a 323. I think that's the first service we've seen going the other way so far. It'll be hard for West Coast Main Line modern day, as Avanti keep changing the timetables. Yeah, they'd have to pick a point in time, wouldn't they, to do it, and stick with it. Yeah, Birmingham, and we go even slower into Birmingham, don't we? And also, coming this way, there's a big dip now coming up, isn't there? So you end up, you have to be careful. Or the train tries to run away with itself. I didn't realise that Birmingham was down in such a sort of dip, and it is, because on the other side you come back up again. I know the platforms are kind of underground, but I didn't realise they'd dug in so much. See it now, just coming over the hill, starting to dip down. It's quite a drop, that, isn't it? So we'll drop the throttle. Just flattened out a little bit there. Here's Birmingham. There's another drop coming here. I think this is the drop that I was talking about. It just seems to dive under the city. Yeah, 1.7. 2.4%. Do I think there'll be any steam locos in the future? I don't know so, but I would guess so, because I think Spirit of Steam was pretty popular, wasn't it? I wish I had a view on the feedback and the, you know, the sort of player numbers, and because I'm sure they've got all sorts of statistics they take from Dovetail Live, which gives them the background information on the most played routes, because they've presented that, and they usually at the end of the year they normally do a little end of year wrap up, don't they, about what was the most played route and things like that. I think Spirit of Steam this year will be high up on that list. So I think probably V, there will be something. Because they developed all the you know, the physics and the mechanics now for steam trains. It'd be a shame if they didn't use them again. Hope I'll ask why the rail tour is set to freight line speed. Yeah, I will ask that question. Yeah, yeah. I was wondering that myself. Because, I mean, I kind of understand the HST, it's like empty stock, isn't it? You can almost treat that as freight. Wow, it's gone quiet. You noticed that? Went in the station, it went quiet. But this one, yeah, this should just be a regular passenger service, shouldn't it? Is it me or are we nearly touching the ceiling? Is that how high 37 is? There's not much clearance there, is there? Yeah, I don't know. Seems a little low, that ceiling. In fact, there seems to be a bit more of a gap here than there does when we came in. Always goes quiet when entering Birmingham. Oh, look at that, it's not letting me stop there. I think it's a bug. It could be, it's weird. It's as if it's possibly there is an ambient noise that comes with the station. So if you stood on the platform, you know, there's a noise of people talking and things clanking around. Maybe there's a transition between the sound of the train and what you should hear when you're in the station, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's not quite right. So we're on time, that's good. We've got a couple of minutes now to get everybody loaded up. Let's have a look at the PAS, let's see what's going on. Right, so this one is showing the 5:37 to Bromsgrove, expected at 5:40. Well, that's clearly wrong. If that's us, that's clearly wrong. I think that's us. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Yeah, so that needs a little bit of something doing to it, doesn't it? The station itself, the actual New Street station is quite nice. I mean, I love all this. This almost reminds me of sort of like the modern day Manchester Victoria as well. It's this kind of thing. Even this type of building here you get at Victoria. Yeah. So we're nearly ready to go. Let's jump back in. A few 323s coming in and out, which is quite nice to see. There's one of the longer ones there coming in. Close the doors. And all the way through to Bromsgrove now, so 13 miles. Nobody gets on or off the train. They're enjoying it so much, and nobody wants to get off at Birmingham, yeah. You would think there'd be a few more getting on at Birmingham, you know, Birmingham being quite a major station. You'd think people want to have a ride on this one. So we got 25 minutes to get to Bromsgrove if we want to remain on time. There are some good opportunities for screenshots with this one. So this is where we start going uphill a little bit. So you see what I mean? The Birmingham itself is in a little dip, little mini dip. Wouldn't it be great if TTG introduced getting paid for transporting passengers or freight, like in train wreck, aka train life? Yeah, it would be nice to have a management game in this. They've stuck to the driving, haven't they, so far? Certainly, you know, maybe in the future. Lots of people want a type of multiplayer thing as well, don't they? So I think railway management plus multiplayer and people doing different jobs, you could almost have somebody as your manager, couldn't you? And you drive for that company. They never did it in Train Sim Classic, did they? It always remains just a simulator, so I don't know whether they would change that policy. Or even how easy it is. Train Life, by the way, you mentioned Train Life. I don't know if you're following Train Life. They did say on the Discord that the patch has had something else added to it, and will release this coming week. It's quite a big patch, apparently. So there's another thing that we'll play this week once that's updated. I'm just waiting for that, really. But they did say on the Discord it was held again, but it will be a big patch. There are changes to the HUD, which you'll be pleased about, Dave. What did they say? They give a very, very high level of some of the things that are in it. I can't remember, but the HUD was certainly one of them. So let's see, and we can go back to Train Life as well. So we pick up the canal here. And the canals are very Birmingham, aren't they? They're very Midlands as a whole, aren't they? Even if you travel, you know, down the M6 through Birmingham, you pass over quite a lot of the canal system from the old industrial era. There is one point though, and I can't remember where it is. One of these canal arches is actually solid. They've not cut a hole in it. I can't remember where it was, but there is one. So, you know, don't go blasting your barge too fast down that canal, because there is a solid wall coming up somewhere. I can't remember. If I see it, I don't know if we've passed it yet. I really can't remember where it was. If I see it, I will shout. but there is there is a blocked tunnel somewhere. And no amount of leaning off the edge of your barge with your feet like they used to do. You know, when they used to run the feet along the wall, didn't they, to stop the barge hitting the side of the wall when they were in a tunnel like that. No amount of that is going to get you through that particular tunnel. It was a brick wall. Oh, you've seen it on the forums, yeah. Someone else has spotted it then, right? I did see it. Yeah, I did see it when I was playing. Yeah. Dave, you don't mind the HUD now, the Train Life HUD this is, and I get used to it. And you got 30 cities leveled up, wow. Hi Kreza, how are you? Can't stand the M6 in Birmingham, always insist going down the toll. Yeah, I do now if I ever go through it. Yeah, I spent many years going up and down the M6, and you always knew where you were going to first get stuck, and where the traffic would first release again. Yeah, the M6 toll seems expensive. Sorry if you're working, you just put it in as an expense, but oh, what a massive difference that is. Yeah, take the toll every time now. How's the new line? Me personally, I'm liking it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's definitely got something a bit different about it. And if you do know Birmingham a little, I don't know it massively, but like I said, if you've travelled through Birmingham and you've seen Birmingham, I would say it's quite a good representation of it. This is the university station, isn't it? Which is the station that is going to open properly in December. Whoa, look at that. See that water there? There's a big waterfall there, look at that. I wonder if that's meant to be. I wonder if there's meant to be a canal lock there, but they forgot to put the lock in because that water went off the edge there. The canal travelling right over the road. You get if the water's like that, you'll get people canoeing down the canal if there's a drop like that, like white water rafting. Yeah, some of these buildings have got a little bit of character to them as well. There's definitely new assets being used. You've got the same old you know, shops down here from Tees Valley and everywhere else. But some of the other buildings are definitely, I don't know if they've been created directly for this route, or whether there are, you know, there's potentially thousands in the catalogue, I guess, that they can choose from. But there are definitely some new ones. The M6 toll is still 3 times busier than the busiest motorways you've been on in France. Yeah, I don't think I've travelled by road much in France. I think when I've been, it's always been by train or plane. And ferry, of course. So there's just 2 of these services. There's this one, there's one going back the other way as well. I wouldn't have minded a few more timetable services, but like I said, we can always create them ourselves, can't we? There's Bourneville. So we've got the factory somewhere, and I can't get over the trees now to show you. Right, let's make sure that we don't get spadded anywhere. 30 coming up. That's a double yellow. Let's have a look on the map. Yes, there's a junction, so we're taking the right hand side. Down to Bromsgrove. Even DTG Ambassador spad, they definitely do. This particular one more so than the others. The save game function as well, talking about spadding, the save game function for me isn't, again, still not working perfectly for me. I've tried it a couple of times and yeah, I understood that to be fixed now. So I don't know if you guys have tried it much. I do tend to try to run a service beginning to end if I can, but obviously on things like Sandpatch that take quite a while, it's not always possible, and Clinchfield's another one, isn't it? But yeah, I've been testing it and I've not had much success yet. Oh yeah, I knew SNCF. Yeah, I just wasn't watching because I was kind of, well, I was looking at the chat, but I was also trying to look. If you're talking about the Arosa one, yeah, I was looking across at the lights on the railway bridge. The viaduct. And a combination of that and looking at the chat, I just went through it. Right, we've got a green, that's good. There is a 66 over there, which is, so is it the railway treatment train? This is possibly what we were waiting for to come through the junction. Is that steel coils? Looks like it. They're nice and shiny, aren't they, those? Still not turned the save function on, Michael. Yeah, I turned it on just to try it. I turned it on. They gave us a choice, didn't they, whether we wanted it or not. They said they couldn't guarantee it was right. I did try it in that status, and it definitely didn't work. And then they said it was fixed, so I tried it again. Yeah, it doesn't really work for me. It still needs a bit of something doing to it. Yeah, there was a line speed sign of 90, right? Yeah. I'd love to blast this to 90. What is the top speed of this? What are we meant to be doing? Does it say? I bet it's about 75, isn't it? I don't know if it says. Usually it says, doesn't it? Don't know. It's obviously capable of 90. Let's see how far we can get up to 60. Here we go. That's as much thrash as we're going to get, I think. I think this was the stretch you mentioned at the beginning, Dave, wasn't it? You said we would get to pick it up a little bit. Yeah, this is a nice little stretch. This is what we wanted. See if this has any effect. Slightly quieter. Oh, this is the point where you couldn't get Thunderstruck going. Well, being this, I tell you what, being this we're only going to Bromsgrove now. Let's straight after this, let's just try Thunderstruck, see if we can work it out. Even if we just do the first part of it, we'll just see if we can get it going. Because I have not done it yet, so I don't know. We'll see if there's anything obvious. So we will have the incline coming up soon. Well, it'll be the decline for us, won't it? Because we'll be going downhill in this direction. First parts are stopping service. That's weird, why is he stood there? It's a bit odd. This is just not in service. Everyone's still hoping, by the way, that that the rivet route comes out this year. I don't know if it will or not. I saw on the forums, was that in the roadmap that the rivet UK route would be out before the end of the year? I don't know. We're running out of weeks, aren't we? We're getting closer to Christmas and the end of the year. Yeah, you're right, going down the hill shortly. We've got 5 miles to go, so I should start to bring it down a little bit. As soon as I see the hill, I'll do that. So the hill's 2 miles, isn't it? The steepest part of the hill is 2 miles. So we'll try and estimate when it's coming up. To be honest, I don't think I've run many in this direction. I've pretty much gone the other way every time from Bromsgrove, including, as you saw, the HST. So we've got a 50 coming up. We're alright for that. I think that is the line down to Redditch, off to our left. So I think this is really where now I should be getting the anchor out of the window. We'll just take this last part slowly. Got 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes till we're due to arrive. World Cup starts tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it as a World Cup, but yeah, strange choice of venue, isn't it? You can't trust FIFA though, as far as you can throw them, can you? So, just my opinion, of course. Oh, I'll definitely watch it. I always watch the World Cup. I always look forward to a World Cup. It seems strange at this time of year, though. Can't quite get my head around it. So locally, for me, Preston don't play at home again now until the 17th of December. Which is a bit weird, because usually every other Saturday at this time I am in the stadium watching that, so yeah, bit odd, very odd. 2.8 miles, we got 2.5 minutes. Can't stand football, never mind World Cup. I feel that about rugby. I can't stand rugby. Don't know what it is, just never got into it at all. Right, look at that sign there with the arrow. I've not seen that before. Does that mean you're on the hill downwards? That's probably what that means. I'm gonna need to look that up. I can see the hill now going down. There it goes. See, it's falling off the edge there. So let's get the first application on. 0.9. There you go. 2.1% downhill. So the Bromsgrove station, of course, is right at the foot of this hill. So you're right, Dave. You've got to be careful coming down this side of it, because you will shoot straight through Bromsgrove if you're not careful. And we've got a decent length train behind us as well. A bit of weight behind us. There's a double yellow. Vigo Bridge this is, that we're just passing over. this Vigo bridge. We'll release the brake a little bit because we are going pretty slow. As long as we don't run away, we'll be good. But it soon picks up speed, it certainly does on this hill. .6 miles to the station. I mean, as it happens, the brakes, I don't know about the 323 coming this way, but the brakes on the 37 are not that bad. There's the arrow symbol again. Good afternoon, Farah, how are you? An hour late and now have to watch the adverts. Perfect. Right, so we've got a mile into Bromsgrove, just under. You never get the adverts, Dave. Are you on? You're not on YouTube Premium, are you? YouTube Premium don't get adverts. It depends how soon. It depends how soon you join as well. I don't think the adverts immediately come on at the start, right at the start. I think it takes a while for them to warm up. So there's the trick. If you join quick, you won't get it. Oh, now you're in. Oh, I didn't realise you were chatting whilst you were still watching the adverts. I thought you'd actually made it in. That was a long time then. We've been talking to you for the past, like, 2 minutes. Yeah, it literally is 2p. It literally is 2p, even if it's 2p. I don't even know if it's 2p. It's not a lot. You don't get a lot. I think you have to play Fortnite to get a lot. You won't catch me playing Fortnite, don't worry. Alright, speed's good. Should start to just flatten out. You can just see it. Just picks up right for the station there. Have you got this one, SNCF? Did you pick this route up? Just out of interest. No, okay. So we were on time at Birmingham. We lost a little bit of time. Maybe I was a bit overcautious coming down the incline there, but it's better to do that than go sailing through. Sailing 3 years, yeah. I think there's a few of you. I think Michael, Farah, I think V as well. V was here earlier. I don't know if V's still in. V for Vitty. I think you're all planning to pick it up once it does go on sale. But yeah, like you say, I don't know if it'll be 3 years, but it might be a little bit of time before it is. Jack, Clag, yeah, Clag. The problem with it is that this is the end of this is the end of the service. And if I go through that red, I'll be following my usual example to you all. This is Bromsgrove, by the way. Got 323 there over on the other side. Now we should be good on this one because 240 odd yards to the red. That's plenty of time to get slowed down. Even for me. See if anybody gets off now. Don't think anybody is. This service terminates here. But nobody's getting off though. This is a service from Dot. Yeah, 3/4 of the year for that one. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and Farah says ditto. I know, Farah, you were waiting for that one for ages. It must be to do with how popular they are. If they still think they'll be able to sell it at the full price, yeah, they're not going to put it in a sale, are they? Again, it comes down to the statistics that we don't get to see often. But I enjoyed that one. That was a good service. That so there's two of those. One this way, one going back the other way. We only got silver. I'm assuming that's because we were tardy at the end on the old timekeeping. So what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look at this Thunderstruck scenario that Dave was asking about that he's getting stuck with. I've not run it yet, so we'll take a look. Might not run all of it. We'll see how we are for time. How long is it? It's 50 minutes, so I think you said you were getting stuck at the beginning of it, Dave, so let's try it. And let's see if I can get past the bit where you were getting stuck, and then we'll see if it's anything obvious. Although usually, if you've been playing this a long time, if you're getting stuck, and the likelihood is that I'm going to get stuck. Oh, it's near the end you got stuck. Run all of it. Well, let's see. Let's see how we get on. Good afternoon. Today we're on a stopping service to Bromsgrove. Poor weather conditions are getting worse. You have a carriage with no traction power, so take care on your journey. This is New Street, isn't it? So we just kind of run this this direction, but that's fine. This is the 323. Let's see how we get on. That door closed on its own. I mean, that's spooky. Master key on. Reverse it to forward. Then we do the lights. Unlock the doors. We'll need those on. Let's get these on as well. So we want AWS. Oh, it's fiddly when you zoom in to do these sometimes. Right. Oh, sorry, no, that was meant to be on normal, wasn't it? Not isolated. That's correct. Right, there we go. Let's get the doors locked. Let's have a quick look outside. Longbridge, that is saying. That's the next station, isn't it? Is that the tail lights? Did I set that correctly? Let's have a look. Tail lights on. We don't want tail lights on. We want them off. Right, let's go. Let's see how we get on. Have I got TPWS on normal? Let's have a look. Let's just have a look. AWS. Normal. 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 Everything's on normal. Vigilance normal. Yeah, I was saying about it's down. Which is that it? Oh yeah, temporary isolation. Isolated. Normal. Yeah, that's it. Right, it's on normal now. Yes, that's the thing that keeps tripping me up. Do you know something about that then, SNCF? Because people have been complaining about that. As you approach a yellow or a red, you need to be down at 10 miles per hour, or it gives you the emergency brake. So we're kind of testing that as well. Near the end, good answer. You join another broken down train, can't get the power, and just roll down the hill. Yeah, you'd probably be laughing at me, yeah. That's what I mean. If Dave can't do it with his amount of hours that he's got, then, you know, what are the chances of me doing it? Why does it look like the cab light is on? Is the cab light actually on? Let's put the coach light on. Where's the cab light? Is it around here somewhere? Is it over this side? Let's have a look. Yeah, of course, now we go in a tunnel. Alright, when I get out of this tunnel, I'll look for the cab light. Oh, actually, no, there you go, it's not on. Put that on. It just seemed, when we're outside, it just seemed very, very bright in the cab. But, as you can see in the tunnel, it's obviously not on. It said 50 minutes, didn't it? Actually, 50 minutes is alright, isn't it? That'll take Farah to his tea time. Five Ways is next. God, this weather is a bit grim, isn't it? On your tea time, Dave. There you go. Dave's a northerner, he knows it. Yeah, let's just try and run this then. We'll try and run it. Why not? As long as you guys are staying in, I will quite happily run it. Excellent. Cool. Thank you, Michael. At least they're sensible. They've got their umbrellas up. They're not wearing coats, most of them, which is a bit silly, but they've got the brolly. Let's just have a look at the itinerary. University, Selly Oak, Bourneville, Kings Norton, Northfield, Longbridge, and then we got the issue, which Dave is talking about. So we'll come to that when we come to that. University, 1.6 miles. See what I mean? The cab looks bright, but you saw how dark it was when we went in the tunnel. Following the canal. By the way, I didn't see. It must be the other direction. I didn't see the canal tunnel that I was talking about, which is blocked. I didn't see it in this direction. It must be in the other direction. Well, there definitely is one. They've left the wall in. This is where we saw that water, though, wasn't it? Is this where we saw the water? We were a bit nearer to the canal than that, weren't we? Was it around this bit? No, this wasn't it. Hi Stace, how are you? When you have power around the square thing, where it's all white, you were getting red. Oh, you had a traction lock. That means you've got a traction lock. So. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, the square that's now saying 0, which shows you which step throttle you're in. Right. Well, let's have a look at that once we get to it. But yeah, if it's red, you've got a traction lock, so there must be a way to release it. We'll find out. Birmingham University. Somebody tell me though, which is the university building? Is it this old building? Is that it? Is that part of it? I mean, usually universities are quite big places, aren't they? Is it kind of that, or is it that over there, or is it on this side even? I don't know. Could be potentially any of that. Looked like you had the brakes on, you reset everything but nothing happened. Okay. Well, we'll check it out when we get down to that part and we'll see. Hey Black Arrow, how are you? Rainy day, looks cool, nice to be dry in the train, lots of umbrellas. Yeah, it is, just feel quite cosy. I think on this side as well, you have even got the, well, you got the aircon, You've got the there. You got the cab heater is on heat 1. Let's have it on heat 2 while we're at it. There you go. As long as the windows don't steam up, we'll have to get the demister on that. He says, with a frog in his throat. Selly Oak is the next one. I think Selly Oak has also got a cat. We'll try and find the cat once we get to Selly Oak. Misty windows, that would be another small detail. Yeah, there is there is a demister button in here, but I don't think in the cab they never mist up. And certainly they don't mist up in the coaches, unfortunately, which is where you normally would see it, isn't it? On a day like this. So there is a cat. I think there's a cat on this one. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think every station's got one, but let's have a look. Can't remember where it is actually. If it's got any sense, it'll be waiting in the dry, won't it? I can hear the storm. There's one collectible, which I haven't got yet. Right, maybe there isn't one on this station. Yes, I'm coming back. Right, let's just abandon that then. Get the doors locked. Yeah, there's cats. There are cats on the platforms. And apparently they're all named after cats that DTG staff own. And I will show you something else when we get to Bourneville, which I definitely know is there. And Dave knows as well. Yeah, the cats kind of sit there and like not wave at you, but they sort of lift the paws up and move their heads around and twitch their ears. And if you look very closely at them, they've got like a DTG collar on them, and you can see the name of each cat. They've all got different names. They're not collectibles. They're just there. There was a cat by the canal. Oh, at that station, you mean? Yeah, this is Bourneville, so I can definitely show you something quite good here. Oh, there's a cat by the canal at Bourneville. I've got you. Right, well, I'll try and find the cat then, as well as the other thing. That's the Cadbury's factory there. One side of it. Oh, now I'm coming sailing through, look. Come on, get the speed off. There we go, we're alright. Oh, it's towards the Selly Oak direction, I've got you. we'll get the doors open. This is what I want to show you. Of course, this is another collectible, which I've already found. There you go. So they got the license. They got the license for Cadbury Dairy Milk. And somebody said, actually, I saw it in the forums, I think. They said if DTG have got the license for Cadbury to use the logo, why does it not say it on the top of the factory? Which is actually a good point. You would think there'd be a big sign on top of the factory. But I'm going to find this cat. Tell me, Dave, if I miss it. If there is one somewhere up here. But the chocolate, yeah, the chocolate's pretty cool. Oh, I can't go that far back now. That's about as far as I can go. But yeah, this is the factory. It goes all the way back. You can actually see it better from this side, from behind this building, and it sprawls right across. That's the factory as well, there in the background. It's a massive place, as you would expect. Oh, look at that. There's another box of chocolates there, which I've not opened yet. I'll remember that one. I'll come back for that. Now this is where, if you unlock the mastery, as I mentioned before, this is where the barges all appear. So let's have a look if we can see the cat. Right, I don't see one here, but you did say it was the other side, didn't you? I didn't see it. Not to worry, not to worry. Let's get the doors closed. We will find one. Hang on, look back on the towpath for the cat. It's a black one. Was it camouflaged? Whereabouts? Right, let me scan the complete towpath before. I'm assuming you mean this side. Right, I'm scanning. There's the chocolate. I can't go any further than that, that's the problem. It's alright, I'll find the next one. There's quite a few. I don't know how many there is actually in total, but we'll find them. Kings Norton. I don't know if Kings Norton's got one. The one at I think the one at Four Oaks is pretty easy to find. It's in a doorway. You can see that from the train. So we're behind time, but it's fine. 8 cats is there, Michael? Right. Tour boat simulator, yeah. They've made every other kind of simulator, haven't they? Right, so we've got Kings Norton. Here we go. We will have a quick scan around Kings Norton just whilst we are waiting. Although this camera that I'm in doesn't give me, only gives me a certain distance that I can travel with this camera. That's pretty good how they put the brollies down. I do like that. That's a collectible. That is a route map, which I've not picked up yet. Yeah, not much on this station. Let's get going. Northfield, 1.4 miles. Picked up the triple train pack yesterday. Oh, right, yeah, the F7 and the Dispalock and the railway treatment train. I do like the railway treatment train, I must admit. It gives you a bit of something to do, and of course it does appear in timetable services on this route as well. So yeah, when you do get this route, there's a bit of extra playtime in that there. I had trouble with that F7 though. I could not recover from the you know, the PCS. If you go into an emergency brake, I'm struggling to get that out of emergency brake. I know there's a sort of a timer on it for releasing the brakes, but I just couldn't get it to work. Probably just me though. I don't think there's anything wrong with the actual train itself. And the 182 you get is the 182. The 182's quite a nice loco anyway. I mean, most of us got that for rapid transit all that time ago. That's always been a very nice loco to drive. And I have noticed, since having that installed, it does appear as AI traffic, that 182, the yellow and grey 182, on quite a number of routes. Right, this is Northfield. Let's just check, not that one, let's just check what we'll be doing. Longbridge. So we got Longbridge and then we get to, I think, Dave's trouble spot. So let's see how we get on with that. This is where the fun begins. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. If we can't do it, we can't do it, but you'll have to tell me the exact spot that you got stuck. Don't forget, with tutorials and scenarios, they generally want you to play them in the specific order that the sequence of events happen. So what I mean by that is, you know, when I was off you know, putting the safety systems on, etc., etc. That's not part of the scenario, or if you're doing a tutorial. Some of the things tend to be, or they can be switched off. I'm not saying that's happening with this one, but sometimes if you break the sequence, you can break the scenario, and then there's no getting back after that. You just have to restart it. But let's see. We'll come up to Longbridge now, and we'll see how far we get. I don't remember what she did. Daisy, you mean, don't you? I don't remember what she did. I kind of half watched it. I was doing other stuff at the same time. I know she played it, but I don't remember. Was she messing about up here somewhere, turning things off? I can't remember. Or was she showing how to turn the lights off? Maybe she was saying you can switch the lights off coach by coach. I think that's what she was showing. We'll find out. It's like even me being late now, you see, can cause issues when you're running a scenario. But we'll see what happens. Oh, I opened the doors, you see. Driver, control of code reported that a Reddit service ahead has failed between here and Barnt Green. Have asked us to assist. Okay. You'll need to ensure all the passengers have left the train before proceeding to the failed train. Unlock the doors now, already done it, and allow the passengers to leave. See what I mean? I've skipped ahead, so hopefully that doesn't mess it up. That's habit, that. Just arriving in the station and just opening the doors. So I'm assuming everyone's left, so we might be good. Let's lock the doors. Hilarity, yeah. She did something with the big handle, yeah she did. Well, we'll find out. Right, we're going to signal SY14. Uh, 1.8 miles, actually, it's quite a way, isn't it? The passengers don't get off. On this one, you mean? Oh, yeah. Look at him. You didn't get the memo, did you? Oh, my word. Yeah. That always used to make me laugh, where you were on Northern Transpennine in the dead of night. You took a train out of service up to Newton Heath. You got there, all the lights were off, but everyone was still sat on the train. There's immersion for you. They've been kidnapped and took to Newton Heath. Yeah, the seats are so comfortable. You know what? They call them ironing boards, don't they, the seats? Because they're exactly not comfortable. They're quite rigid things, aren't they? But I know what you mean. They didn't want to get off in the rain. They'd rather come for this joyride, I think. They're all interested to know why Dave failed it, so they want to come and see it for themselves. They want to know what the secret is. So we'll try and find out. Start slowing down for this. Freight driver, not a passenger one. Right, so I'm assuming we're going to call the signalman from this this red, and then he can let us through, or she can let us through. And the train will be just ahead somewhere. Press to contact the signaller. Okay, so this is good. We get to use the... what is it asking me to press there? Ah, contact signaller, there it is. That's good, isn't it? So that works. Look, standing at the signal. Hello, driver of 2035, giving you authority to pass SY14 at danger. The failed train is stopped ahead. There are no detonators in place, so proceed with caution. Be prepared to stop short of any obstruction. I really like the fact that that is actually doing something, though, in this case, and allows us to, you know, get the correct path. So we're allowed through. This is one SPAD we're allowed to do now. So let's go through the red. Okay. Is this what you meant, Dave? This isn't what you meant, is it? Because there I've got a traction, look. Is the brake coming off? That's because I went past the red. So do I have to now turn that off? Put it back on. There we go. Right. Now that's probably to do with the fact... Oh, I forgot the override. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah. Is that down here somewhere? Yeah, it's because I've got these on over here. I was meant to press the button. Where is it? I don't want to miss this train, but yeah. Is it that one? Is it? It's not the AWS reset, is it? Just to the left of the radio. Ah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. You're quite right. Now, yeah, if I hadn't have had these switched on, then I didn't need to do that. So, of course, that's why that doesn't appear in the scenario, because it assumes that you are playing it exactly as they're instructing you, so you don't have the safety systems on. Yeah, thanks for that, Michael. That's a good tip, because I didn't know where that button was. Excellent. Good. I do remember this bit actually on the DTG stream, because she kept jumping out of the cab, didn't she, to check that the coupler was right. various other bits and pieces. Then she jumped back in, then she moved it forward, then she jumped out again. Yeah, I do remember. She was doing it by the book, wasn't she? Completely by the book. So I remember up to this point, and I don't remember what she really did. Let's see. Let's just pull up right behind it, and then we'll give it a push. Alright, that's that done. So, we need that brake in, well, B3, not P3. Don't go the wrong way. Right, let's do it exactly as it says. So, let's get the lights off. The reverser can go off. And the master key can go off. Whilst we're here, oh, the pantograph of the failed train is still raised, needs to be isolated before moving the train. Once the pantograph is isolated, you only have 3 powered vehicles in the train, so take care when driving with the increased amount of weight. Alright, so we've turned the master key off. What I'm going to do is set all these safety systems to off so that we've got a complete reset. So we'll isolate that. Isolate that. I think that one was already at normal. Don't think we need to do anything with that one. Traction, interlock, normal. Vigilance, let's turn that off. DSD, we can turn off. That's gone back to temporary isolation, which is what it was before. Alright, so climb aboard the indicated carriage. We'll do that. Close that, all good and proper. Right, let's close this. Yeah, this is familiar, vaguely. She was saying something about getting electrocuted here, wasn't she? Set the pantograph isolation switch to isolated. Okay, so that turns it off. Let's close that. Yeah, these are the ironing board seats. Actually, they're not too bad, are they, those, compared to some? Right, so here we go. Master key on. Are you just now wondering if you set the power handle in the wrong direction? Well, I don't know if you saw out the window, but when I set the power handle, you could see me rolling forward. I was actually pushing it. So you should probably know if you did that, because you would have been moving forward. Let's get the lights on. Train's now ready to depart. You'll need to head into bright green and stop beyond SY8 signal, and then change to the front cab. Alright, cool. Let's get the wipers on. So I'm not going to bother with these safety systems for now. I'm just going to leave them because we're going to change ends again. So just for easiness, not authenticity. Hang on, we've got the doors. Wait a minute, we've got doors open. It didn't tell me about that, did it? So is this the point you got stuck then, Dave? Did you? Is this where you couldn't get traction? So it's very quiet because it's using the power from the unit that we originally drove in, because this one's dead. So it's kind of remote controlling the back unit, isn't it? It's getting the power from the back ones that we added to the back, which is why it's so quiet. Because the pantograph was stuck, we just dropped it. Well, we didn't drop it because it was stuck. We've isolated it, so it's not drawing power. That's what we did in the cabinet. You got stuck here. Okay, it might be that then, Dave. If you rerun it, it might be like you said. You might maybe just skipped the handle. Yeah, exactly. At least we know it's not broken. Yeah. That's the main thing. I mean, I would expect with scenarios, if nothing else, the scenarios are rigorously tested. Just Dave being a blank. Poor Dave. Oh God. Oh dear me. You can have him for that, Dave. Right, let's stop here. At the signal. The rear of the train is now clear the signal, so you're free to change ends to the front cab and prepare the train to run empty to New Street. Okay. Let's do that. We'll follow the prompts again. So set the headlights to off. And really, the tail lights should be on. It doesn't tell me that. Master key off. Let's turn these wipers off. Right, I think we're good to go. Sit in the driver's seat. So, let's go for a walk outside. We'll get a bit wet. Let's check the tail lights. They're looking good. Hopefully there's no holes here, because that's the other thing. Sometimes you walk along the side and you fall through a hole. I've done that many, many times in different places across various routes. Over the egg boxes again. Yeah, like Farah says though, at least it's working. You can go back and try it now, Dave, and see how you get on. Unless we come across any other problem on the way to New Street. This is a good scenario for practicing getting the train set up, isn't it? That's one thing. Let's make sure the tail lights are off. Right, it's asking us to put power in, so first let's do the other bits and pieces we need to do. Put that on. Let's do these again. What have we got? We have got AWS. Emergency bypass is normal. Don't really know what that does. I don't know what that does. Traction interlock normal. We definitely need that. Yep, that's normal. That normal. Okay. Right, let's get some power in. New street. In 9 miles. And that's us done. So yeah, it's actually Dave, it was a good suggestion because it's a good scenario, this one. And I was going to play it anyway. I will get through all the scenarios, so I might as well do it whilst we are there's somebody waiting there. Might as well do it on the stream, especially if it helps you out. So we should be able to increase speed very shortly. There we go. We do have a yellow. Hey Kevin, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. That's a double. Need to get the TPWS sorted, it does your head in, yeah. Yeah. Just cautious in case this is a single yellow and we've got a red right after it, so let me just cruise through this yellow and see what it is. I think that's a single. Have you noticed how the lights glow like that as well? Which I really like that. That's quite realistic. Especially in the rain with the spray and whatnot. Yeah, it does look really good, Kevin, you're right. I do think this route has got... There's a lot of stuff they don't tell us about, little small bits and pieces they put in these routes that they don't tell us about, which they probably should, because it's, like I said it last time, it's like blowing their own trumpet. They should do that. It does look a bit different, this route. I know they get slated for bugs and things, you know, which is right. You know, they do have quite a long list, don't they? I'm sure they're working on them all the time, but when they do bring a new route out, there is always a noticeable improvement on the one before. Again, that's just my opinion. But this particular route's got a lot to like about it, I think. Okay, good. So we're going off to the left. So it's for this junction, isn't it? stick to this 30 that's coming up. Got quite a long train now going on. So yeah, we didn't need the hill start then, Dave. I had visions of us being somewhere near the Licky incline, and we had to get up there or something with a failed train. But it must have just been that traction. That maybe you did have the brakes on in the original cab. Maybe that's just why. Let us know though when you work it out what it was. You had a hard time with TSW2. Not sure if TSW is right for me. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Well, if you did get TSW3, then of course anything you had in TSW2 will carry across. And you can also carry your profile across as well. So all your progress from the first game, you can carry across, so you won't lose anything. I can see Farah's asked you the question there, is it in difficulty or enjoyment? If it's difficulty, the one thing I would say about TSW3 over 2 is that yeah, understanding the setup on trains. So now I think they've realised that for a lot of new players. Some new players were having difficulties because it is a bit of a minefield. There's so much to do. I mean, I had a problem with that TPWS there where Michael showed me where the button was, and I've been playing this a long time as well, but DTG have noticed that, and what they've done is in TSW3 they've added a lot of tooltips. So I don't know if we'll see any just whilst we're trundling along, but if it notices that you've been stood for a while, for example, and it knows you're pressing buttons trying to get going, it comes up with little tips now in the top left hand corner, and it'll say, oh, what you need to do now is, you know, put the reverser in forward or something like that, and it kind of prompts you now, whereas you didn't get that before. So in the absence of manuals half the time with TSW2, if you didn't know how a train operated, I agree with you, it was difficult to try to work out how to get the thing going. But with these tooltips, you know, in some cases, especially with PZB, I'm finding the tooltips really useful as well. I'm an experienced player, so there is that about TSW3, so you might find it slightly better from that perspective. But I do get it. I do understand. There's so much, and every train is different. These type of trains tend to drive the same and set up the same, but you get to some of the German trains and they're a different beast to get going. Yeah, Michael, yeah, the tooltips are a great ad, yeah. For me, those tooltips, I kind of, you know I use PZB all the time, but I kind of have in my own mind what speeds I'm meant to be going. Those tooltips come up, and if you go over the, you know, if you go over 1000 hertz magnet, for example, it now comes up and tells you what speed you need to do and how long you've got until you need to be at that speed. So previously, when you went over a magnet, you knew you had sort of, what was it, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, around that time. See, I don't even know exactly, to get down to the speed. Now it tells you exactly. So the tooltips are really, really useful, especially if you're trying to learn something the first time. So I think they've worked quite hard on that aspect of it. Yeah, I would agree with Farah. Just don't even use any safety systems to begin with. Once you know how to drive the train, you can add the next layer of safety systems on top and see if it gives you any enjoyment. It might not even help you, you know. Yeah, Black Arrow, you're exactly right. Yeah, it was definitely missing, wasn't it, in the previous game? I've told you guys before, I've got, and I don't know if you do the same, I have a little notepad. Whenever I came across bits and pieces that I thought, oh, I need to know that again, but I might not play this route for a while, I just wrote it down in the book, especially Sandpatch, with the way you have to set up the front locos and the rear locos and the you know, the way you do the banking and things like that. That's stuff you don't do on the UK routes. So unless you're doing it all the time, it's easy to forget. So I was writing all that down, but now a lot of that is in the game, and will, if you sat there and you're wondering, well, what the heck do I do next? Likelihood is it'll just pop up and show you. So yeah, it's very good. It's very good. That's University Station again that we're passing through. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, as you said, hopefully the ones that I've got on the channel are, well, not just for enjoyment, but also as a record. You know, especially the scenario ones. If you get stuck on a scenario, even I've done it in the past. If you see someone play the scenario, you think, ah, damn, that's where I went wrong. So yeah, always go back and look on the channel if there's anything in particular you got stuck with. I mean, these routes are, you know, let's not beat about the bush. The routes are expensive, aren't they? So, you know, if you buy one, you want to get the most out of it. So it's not cheating if you go and watch how somebody else did it. It's you maximising your investment and getting past the bit that's been frustrating you. Yeah, don't look at my Arosa ones. Yeah, actually, you might not find many of them for that reason. I think I've only got one or two on there, and I think I've spadded on every single one so far. Talking about Arosa though, we've got Christmas coming up, and of course in that that Journeys pack that came out for Arosa, there are a couple of scenarios in there loosely related to Christmas and delivering presents up the Arosa line, and I thought, you know, as we get nearer the time, I think we'll do that one and we'll run that scenario. Probably everybody else that streams it is thinking the same. It's probably the one time a year where you would naturally run that scenario. I think there's two actually, and it's all decked out in Christmas lights, delivering presents. We'll do that as a special, I think, nearer the time. I know we're a few weeks off, but that'll be good to do. So I've purposely not run those scenarios yet, because that particular pack, I only got that pack just over a month ago, so I've done very little in that pack, so I'll save those on purpose, and we'll do a Christmas themed one, I think. Right, New Street is approaching. All the buildings are coming into view. We need to reduce to this 20. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that. Oh, it's on sale. Is it in the? Is it in the? I think the Black Friday sale started yesterday. I had a quick look at that actually. I didn't really see much on there that I was interested in, if I'm honest. Outside of Train Sim World, just in case any of you weren't here from the start, Farah, I did get from Astragon. I did get police simulator, police patrol officers yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, which was quite nice of them. So I'll be playing some of that coming up. I'm going to do a first look, as I generally tend to do, and then we'll do some live on that, I think. So that was nice of them. I thought the ship had sailed there, and as you know, I was a bit annoyed because I hung on and hung on. Then I missed the discount period that was on the PlayStation Store. But then they contacted me yesterday and said, "Oh, yeah, sorry, we forgot about you. Here you go." So I'm happy with that. I mean, I'm slightly behind everybody else, but yeah, we'll get into that. Just as an aside from trains. Right, this is Birmingham New Street. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Kevin. Yeah, I've obviously watched a few people play it. There is multiplayer on there, so that'll be interesting. So once we get in, that'll be us, and then you can all go and have your tea and watch your rugby. And Michael can probably get his dinner in or late breakfast. Yeah, gas station sim I haven't got. Farah, you've got that, and Dave, definitely you've got that. I haven't picked that up yet. Possibly a sale one for me, I think. I fancy it. I've just got other stuff to do on the PlayStation before that. Here we are, this is us. Hopefully that's near enough. There we go. Unlock the doors. No, you're welcome. No, my pleasure. It's been a good stream again. I've enjoyed it actually. I have enjoyed it. I didn't obviously expect to play this, but this has been a good one. And I'm glad it worked out. And if it's helped Dave as well, then that's good. Let's lock the doors. Good work. The trains arrived back safely without further incident. The delayed services around Bromsgrove can continue as normal. Another driver will be taking this train to Soho Depot for repairs. So that all of your assigned tasks for now. Time to take a break and see how you did. So it said 50 minutes, didn't it? We took slightly longer, an hour and 7, but that's fine. But we got a gold, so that's good. So listen, thanks guys, and I appreciate you all coming in on a Saturday. Good luck, Dave, with the scenario. You can see it definitely does work. Just watch those power handles, and if you do have the safety systems on, as Michael said, make sure you press that button as you pass through the red, just to turn that off. But yeah, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and evening, and I'll be back on the next one. So see you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.